Hey, what's going on, guys? Appreciate you stopping by. So, I'm out here trying to get a few things done over this weekend. I'm in the process of trying to put up some kayak racks. We picked up on clearance at the end of last summer because, again, we're on a tight budget. So, we've been wanting kayaks for the last couple of years, but just didn't want to spend the money, and found a place that had them really cheap. At the end of the summer, we end up only taking them out a couple times just because the winter came here in Maine. And we picked them up, but they've been sitting, we stack them up on the ground, and we're wanting to get them up off the ground on the side of the garage back here. So I'm in the process of putting some racks up to hold them. And there's this video that I've been wanting to do. I've got some notes here, and going to try to make it so it's not too long. Just get my point across and get off so I can get back to what I need to do, and you can get back to whatever it is you want to do. And it's probably going to be a little bit different thinking. This is related to preparedness. And for people who have looked into the future and have looked at preparedness, they are preppers, they're survivalists, whatever you want to call them. They have often thought that there's something they're preparing for. For example, economic collapse. That's a very common one, that they think that eventually the national debt will reach a certain point. There'll be mass inflation, mass hyperinflation, and there'll be some kind of economic collapse. Others have prepared for civil war. Others have prepared for EMP or a solar flare. It's very, very popular. And when you look at all the different prepper fiction, the stories people have written, different scenarios. I like scenarios and I like prepper fiction. It covers the gambit of all kinds of things. Crime waves, world war, alien invasion, cyber attacks. I mean, you name it, somebody's probably written a book on it. But what if all of these things that people have been preparing for and contemplated were wrong? That it's not one event. It's not one day everything's fine and then the next day it's cataclysmic. It's a catastrophe. It's the apocalypse. What if what we are experiencing right now, and this isn't very exciting, it's not real romantic like an action movie, but what if we are in the SHTF right now and it just doesn't look like what we always thought? And that's what I want to talk about in this video. And I've got 5 things that, if that's the case, I'm sure there's more than 5, but these are the 5 that I came up with, that if we are in an SHTF now, and it just looks different, and it has a different pace and a different feel for it, these are the 5 things that I think we're going to continue to experience, and it's probably going to intensify, it's going to accelerate, it's going to get worse. So the first one, you won't be surprised, is the cost of living continues to rise. So we're going to see food, housing, insurance, medical, possibly fuel. It's probably going to continue to be like a roller coaster. Utilities. I mean, we're going to see all these things continue to go up in price. And regardless how you look at it, we lose purchasing power. Our wages are not going to keep up with the rate of the cost increases, of the rate of inflation and these prices. So that leads to, we have to take corrective action to counter those price increases. And I'm not covering that in this video. That's in the future. The other thing is government's going to continue to grow. For those of you who understand the Constitution, have studied the Constitution, have actually read the Constitution, you'll know that we are so far removed from what the founders intended with the Constitution. the Constitution had it so that the government was supposed to be very, very limited in scope and in nature. And it has grown to where it is way beyond where it should be. And that has created so much regulation and so much complexity. And really the removal of a lot of freedom that we as individuals should have, and what this individual state should have. So this overbearing government is going to continue. I think it's going to continue to get worse. We see so much turmoil within the federal government. It doesn't matter who's in charge, but within the federal government and the states. It's the whole political system has become corrupt. Number 3, society is becoming more divided. And it used to be that, and I'm really not trying to make this a political video, because it's not. I'm talking about how things are. But it used to be that the majority of Americans were very close in opinion on 90% of the things. And then 10%, there was some distance. But they could come together and make decisions that were in the betterment of the citizenship. That's not anymore. Not anymore at all. Whether it's politics and social media, people are divided, not just in 2 ways, but in many ways, on almost every single topic that you can think of. You literally can put a post up on social media and say, what a beautiful sky. And somebody's going to say, I think it's a little teal. It's crazy. It's crazy. And trust, where, government used to be looked at with a certain stature, a certain respect and trust, that is gone. That is way thrown out the window. And I think for good reason. And I think that's going to continue to erode and get even worse. So society has become divided. And again, this is number 3 of the things that I believe will continue to accelerate, expand, and get worse. And we need to act accordingly. Global instability. This is number 4. Global instability is like the new normal. And absolutely, there's always been things going on in the world. We've had wars, we've had conflicts, we've had issues, but 2026 and moving forward, I think we're going to continue to see that occur and get worse and worse and worse. With new technologies, AIs, drones, I think that we may see more conflicts that don't cost human lives. They just cause destruction and minimal human lives. I think that when you're looking at a TV screen and you can just push a button to do something, there's going to be a tendency for that to actually happen. And we've been seeing that. So global instability, I think, is going to continue to trend upward, more extreme, more frequent, worse. That's number 4. And number 5 is we're losing self-reliance. I think society as a whole in the United States, people are going further and further and further away from what their grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents, the type of life that they lived, the self-reliance, the home canning, growing their own food, having a victory garden. I think that we are distancing ourselves from that. You look at so many of the young people today that, they just stare at their screens. They're looking at their phones, their tablets. There's on YouTube, there's a popular couple, you may know who they are, from Turkey, that do a lot of camping videos. Really, really well done. And they bring their daughter along, and they'll go out and walk through this beautiful wilderness. She'll stay in the tent looking at her tablet. That's how it is so much. Obviously, there's exceptions. But people today are not retaining the skills that allowed us as people to survive in nature, to survive in this world without all of the modern conveniences. And if those modern conveniences are removed, what's going to happen? So those are the 5 things. I'll review them real quick. It's cost of living continues to rise. Government continues to grow, overreaching. Society's becoming more divided. Global instability, that's becoming the new normal. And we're losing self-reliance. We're becoming more and more dependent. And preparedness, I think maybe this is a new reality that we need to face. That preparedness isn't about preparing for something that's going to happen in the future. It's one day. It's one big event. It's one terrible situation that we are going to have to overcome. Preparedness may be dealing with the now. That what we are experiencing now and have been experiencing for the last few years is going to continue, and it's going to continue to get worse. And we're going to need to act accordingly. So my plan, I'm going to talk more about this in the future. You know, I try to put together a variety of subject matter and content here. I'm going to do a garden tour soon and just give an update on a few of the things that's going on, as well as some of the projects that I have going on. I'm 99% done with the mudroom roof that I was replacing, and I'm going to do a video on that. So, but preparedness is something that, and self-reliance, becoming as self-sufficient as possible is important in today's world, because I'm seeing more and more people that are just unbelievably reliant on modern technology, on government, and not on themselves, and that's a problem. So anyways, that's it. I'd love it if you could comment. What are your thoughts? Are we in the SHTF now? Do you think that's a possibility? Or is there one major event or something that you think is going to happen soon or maybe later? So hit that like button, consider subscribing if you haven't. Share this video with somebody that's like-minded. It really helps the algorithm, helps this channel grow. And all 10 of you that are watching, it would really, I'd appreciate it. So anyways, I appreciate it. You guys stay safe, take care. We'll see you next time.
So I ran from the cities and the noise and lies, found a piece of ground under open skies. Hands in the dirt, sweat on my shirt, learning what living's really worth. While crooked men shake hands in rooms, selling souls to corporate suits. Society's sick, but I found the cure. A back road life, honest and pure. They can keep their throne and their golden news. This life out here's my modern exodus. I traded screens for a sunrise, callous palms, blisters, pride. Planted seeds where hope was.